And welcome back, Fire Addicts, to another episode of Travis vs. Fire. And today I'm giving you a firewood update. Yeah, so it's known on several channels and then maybe in the firewood community, maybe from the firewood gods, who knows, that you need to have all your wood ready to go, stacked, processed, cut, all the happy stuff by Easter. Well, Easter has come, it has went, and you already ate all your Reese's egg cup from the Easter bunny, and now it's time to make sure that we have enough wood. So I'm going to give you a tour of my wood yard, show you what I have ready to go to sell, ready to go to burn come fall. So in this area here, I had what's called my bonfire wood. Now, what I call my bonfire wood, it's longer cuts, bigger splits. It's stuff that I probably got from tree service wood. It's probably full of knots, gnarly stuff that I don't want to cut down to 16. Slash, it won't split nice. So instead of having to mess with it, fiddle with it, I split it up as is and sell it at my firewood stand for more or less $1 a piece. So right now, all of my dry stuff for my bonfire rack is been sold out. I had a kid, he's probably in his, mid-20s. He found my firewood stand and he's been buying up 2 racks at a time and it's cleaning me out. And I had some stuff for him, left him around. He said, nah, I want the fir. I don't want spruce, I don't want cedar, I don't want cottonwood. I want your fir. And I was out of fir, which is a bummer. So to replace that, what I have is this stuff here, and this is going to be a mix of, I think, cedar, bonfire wood, maybe some fern here, but this is my replenishment of the bonfire wood that was over there, but now it's sold. It's gone. It's been burned. Make that money. But it's obvious, though, I think to a lot of you, I'd hope, that because this stuff is bigger split, these are some big pieces here. This is not like your normal size, girth, and then the length of it is going to be more than 16 right here. So therefore, this wood's going to dry a lot slower. So that's why I put it facing the west here, getting a lot of west sunlight, and hopefully this will dry as soon as possible. So that's for the bonfire wood. So all the wood I'm showing you now is stuff that I'm going to be selling. This stuff here is bundle wood that is alder. I had abundance of alder come in from a daycare dad who was since cut down some trees at my parents' house. This is what there are remnants of that I needed to get dried and just ready to go, ready to burn, ready to sell. On the other side, let me show you that. On the other side of the alder is the balance of that cordal wood that I got from that crackhead back in December. This is the stuff that are like these shorty splits right here. These are all shorty splits. And I got about, I don't know, 1/6 of a cord. That's this stuff. This stuff actually I was burning at the very tail end of my burning season. Now, question to you all, I will pose it to you. Are you still burning in your wood stove? I swear it was last week, I think, at least for me, I did have a wood stove in my house, but only at nighttime, just to take the chill off. It was a little bit chilly down in the basement, and I made a fire, and it only went through the night, and we were warm enough. But all through the whole day and night burning, definitely a thing of the past, no longer there. But let me know if you are still burning in your wood stove at your home. So a few months ago, I found a new arborist friend, and he dropped a whole bunch of noble fir logs at my house. And noble fir is known for like Christmas trees, if you know what that is. And it smelled like Christmas, and it was glorious. So then what I have on the back side is I have bundle grade wood, okay? In the middle, you can see in there, middle is more bundle grade wood, and on the far west side and the outside is all rack wood, like my regular rack wood here. So it will be get as much sun and wind as possible. It'll be dry as fast as possible. Now, if you look at these pieces, what do you notice? You notice anything specific? Noticing here, and noticing anything about the bundle grade in there? What I ended up doing with this is a little experiment. What I did is I wanted the rack wood to be naked, no bark whatsoever, so it would dry faster because these are obviously bigger splits. So bark that would hinder the drying process. So I left a lot of them naked, leaving the bundle grade, which are smaller splits, with the bark. And hopefully that would not, make sure that those would not dry a little bit slower with the bark, but still fast because they're smaller splits. Now, I tested those, and I've already put those in firewood bags and sold them. So I'm already selling this wood. I have not tested these wood yet, and I need to because I think my sauna guy, because I'm out of dry hardwood right now, I want to test some of these and then try to sell him this stuff because I think that would help with the sauna. But let me know if that is, in your mind, cheating, putting the bark on the bundle grade only and then leaving the rack wood naked with no bark. Let me know your thoughts on that. But experiment and we'll try it out. So the bulk of the alder, you saw the episode where this whole stack fell down. I had to fix the pallet down there and then restack it and then support it with this janky thing here. I hope it'll work. But anyway, the majority of the alder is here, and then some are behind me. So I have wood all over the place, including right next to it. This is also the noble fir. I think this is mostly rackwood right here next to it. So I have this wall here, and then we have more noble fir in this section because I had a whole bunch of noble fir that day that came in. Okay, so walk around here to my makeshift shelters, which looks like hell, but they kind of work. Face part, I think this is mostly bundle grade of the noble fir right here. I think mixed with some, this is a mix. Yeah, this is mix of bundle grade and rackwood. On the other side of the middle, mostly top would be the rackwood because it's bigger split, so it had more access to wind. Middle would be bundle grade, but in the front here, I've had since the beginning of this year or so. I forget when that was. It was 6 months ago plus ago. Anyway, this is cottonwood. Yes, I do sell cottonwood, but I mix it with other wood at my firewood stand. I've only had a few people complain about it, but a lot of people just know that it burns, and it burns. So that's cottonwood there. And then I have cottonwood here. In this area, we have obviously more rackwood. Then it's divided kind of here, and then we had a bunch of bundle wood. So this is west hitting sun and the wind. This is all getting some good stuff here. So this is all drying. It's under cover. So because if cottonwood gets moist, it's gonna stay moist. It's gonna suck. So this has to be covered so it won't mold and all that jazz. So anyway, this is my cottonwood here, and I have more this way. So here I have some cedar. It's not very good quality because it was some pretty bad, crazy rounds that I had. But yeah, this is some cedar. I tried to split them accordingly, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's cedar for selling. Yep. And then here we have some rackwood of alder on both sides all the way up. This is quite tall. This stuff here I got from that neighbor who buys from me that was moving and had to act quick. And this is I guess I would say this is mostly fir. And I had this section here, and I have one more section over there. So I don't know. That would probably be like 1/3 of a cord. I tried to split it accordingly, but a lot of times it was kind of knotty, so it was hard to split. So this should be, I don't know, maybe a few more months on this, but that should be good to go for the firewood stand very, very soon. Walking forward, we have not one, not two, but we have 3 little totes of cedar chunks. Now these in the middle here, these should be good to go. I tested the outside, added about 5%, and these all should be good to go, ready for big bonfire burning this summer. This one here is a little bit newer, a little bit greener, but this out in the elements, all good to go, getting that sun, getting that wind, and this all should be dry very, very soon. But I have a whole bunch of cedar chunks now. All right, so on the other side of this is where I had the bulk of my cottonwood, but now the cottonwood is down to this little piece right here. Don't mind the saw, that's for another time. This here is a bunch of the stuff that I got from my neighbor, the random fir pieces. that taking up space here. I got a few pieces of cedar that this is going to be personal use because it's to rot in it, but these pieces here would be good for rack wood. Yes, I do sell cedar at the firewood stand. That's not cedar kindling. And we are continuing on. In the next section over here, we have cottonwood for rack wood here. Not very much here, but I've been slowly trying to get rid of this cottonwood here. Obviously, there's more rack wood for yonder. And again, on the other side, we have alder wood that is split to be for rack wood. In here, covered with the tote lid and the soccer ball, we have cedar chunk pieces. These are the smaller pieces that I'm calling for kindling. So load this up into a garbage can, and that garbage can is about $30 or so. I think that's $30. Yeah, so drying out here in the bin. Only bad thing about the bin is it likes to fall out, which is the bummer. You see the pieces down there, but it's nice to so there's airflow every direction. So I think that this is good to go for here. This is the wood that I have for the fall for my personal burning. Okay, so all that wood there is for selling. Okay, this is for personal. Hope that you won't be confused. Now this stuff here, I could sell, but I don't feel comfortable with it because it looks gnarly. It's twisted. It's too short. Or there's rot or punk on it, okay? And I think it's still worth me putting in here and burning it versus having to discard it if it's too punky, too small, etc. So I stacked a wall in the back there, and I've just been tossing. This is all tossed. The back is stacked to build a wall. The front is stacked to build a wall. In the middle is just thrown, okay? So I hope to have this all the way to the top. I don't know, this is about like 10 feet or so tall. This whole thing should be all chunk wood, and this would be all burned with the fall. Now in here I have a mix of everything, and I have a lot of smaller chunks and pieces of fruit wood, and that's gonna burn awesome. So I have a whole thing in here, so I still have time. I think some of the fir I have are smaller splits that will go in here, but we'll see. Now my mama bird, you see here, mama bird, she's gone. I don't know where she is, but there's no eggs in there. I went up there very carefully, and there were 2 eggs in there. Last time I checked a few weeks ago, there were that robin blue, you know. No mama, no eggs. I don't know what happened. There's a bird right there getting a bug there, though. The bird right there getting some sort of a flying bee or something right there. Mother Nature, I love it. And then I've got to mention here, these are some smaller splits right here. So these would be for selling in here. So this is next to the cedar that was kind of wonky. Now these are smaller splits. Now these are long enough that I feel comfortable selling, but short enough that they're not at 16, and they're all gnarly and wonky. So I have this. This is a mix of probably fir and alder in here. Not too bad, but yeah, this is all going to be dry, and this will probably go into a tote to be sold for, I believe I saw a loosey toss for $120. Love it. This makes me smile. Makes me happy. I wish I had more of it. This is my wall, my almost 2 rows in here. 2 rows. I don't know if you can see it. 2 rows, 1 row here, 1 row there of hardwood. Yes, hardwood. And a lot of this is that fruit wood that I got from the neighbor up the road. Some of it is maple that I bought. The same guy that our good friend Daniel Atkins buys as well. I bought a trailer load of maple for him. So some in here is maple. So this is here is going to be for personal use. But I will take from this to sell to my sauna guy, and take from this when people want specifically hardwood. A guy contacted me recently and asked if I had any fruit wood. I said yes, and he wanted apple, and I'm like, well, I can't tell the difference of apple. I can tell the difference between fruit wood and maple. Here are the fruit woods that I have, and is that okay with you? He said okay. He wants to use it for smoking, I believe, or something. I don't know. I forget. It worked out, but I sold him a tote, loosely tossed, from this pile, knowing that it wasn't going to be dry yet in here, and it was for a pretty penny plus delivery. Because this is hard to come by fruit wood, especially some of the pieces of rounds that we got from our neighbor up the road. So I don't know how much this is. I could measure, but it doesn't really matter. I need to get at least 2 more rows up in here so I feel more comfortable, but it's hard to come by hardwood, oddly enough. Anyway, on chip drop I would tip you more if you bring me hardwood, so hopefully that would be incentive. This in here is cedar chunkwood. It goes back fairly far. This is probably going to be, I don't know, four ICB totes worth of loosely tossed cedar chunk. So this is drying. It's probably not dry yet. The front is probably dry. In the middle and the back, probably not. But this would be probably good for late summer, maybe early fall for people who aren't ready yet, aren't prepared, but still want to burn something right away. So I got a whole bunch of cedar chunks. I get a lot from my cedar guy, and then when I get random pieces of logs or chunks from other people, there's always cedar in there, and I've always found a way to utilize the cedar. I don't know if you can see this or not, and amongst all my nonsense in my backyard, I have some cedar stacked in there. I thought this was gonna be my new cedar stack, but I found other pieces to stack cedar. So in here I have a row, maybe like 1/6 of a cord or so back in there of cedar. In here is the slab wood that we split up the other episode. This is drying, but unfortunately I have seen some mold, so I'm not sure if this location is actually a good spot for the cedar slab wood. I think I said before that cedar is softer wood, should dry up pretty fine, but this was still green enough to have all that moisture. I don't know, hopefully it'll turn around and be fine, but I'm out of cedar kindling at the Woodyard. I don't have no more dry stuff. So what I end up doing is, I'll show you in a second, I end up doing, hopefully that will work. Anyway, and then back in here I have older pieces of cedar chunks for kindling back in here, and even more up here, just stuff. So just I have a whole bunch of cedar coming out of my ears. It's crazy. I still have the cedar slab wood here. I think what I'm going to be doing is just taking a saw and just tearing through it, and then either a loosely tossed or stack it somehow, because it's hard to stack them because you have this, a lot of them you have this bell on them, and that won't stack very well. So just cut it and more or less S16, call it a day, and get rid of this pile because it's an eyesore. It's been here for way too long. That will be a different episode, but I still have this here, and it sucks. And now it comes to all the fur that we have gotten lately. This is from 2 chip drop orders. We got some big Mama Jamma rounds, and we have some chunks from our latest one, and just a whole bunch of fur, So that is yet to be processed. We have the slab wood over yonder, we have this fur, and so I'm trying to figure out where to put it because I'm running out of space. But yeah, I need to get this processed and drying and out of my yard so I can mow, you know. But where I put it, so I'm thinking about putting it in here. And like I said with the cedar slabs, I think this spot is going to be okay because there's enough sun and wind in this area, but we'll see. But I still need to prep that area here. This area here had cherry before. I think I burned the cherry through, I don't know, what was it, I think last fall or so, that I had for a while. And now this is vacant, this is empty. This is kind of where I store my cottonwood blocks, but the axe throwing company has not contacted me lately, so I haven't had any cottonwood blocks as of late, which is kind of weird. I don't want to bother them, but maybe I overstayed my stay and having them help me, and maybe I'm off on that, but they have not contacted me, so hopefully maybe they'll call me soon and I can get some more free wood. Anyway, I need to prepare this area, and that will be another episode. But I'm thinking that the fur will be split and stacked here. I can get a good quantity in this section here and get that drying. So there's that. So a while ago you heard me say that I wanted to give my parents some hardwood, and a lot of that was that the whole load of maple that I got, the logs that I just mentioned, the bulk of that went to this cord. Now this is gone. It's gone. I got rid of it. I tossed it in my parents' dump trailer, took 2 loads, and I tossed it in there, and I drove it over to their property, and now they have this hardwood. The face was kind of drying and on the outsides, but in the middle here and on the wall, that was moist and that had mold on it. And I didn't want to stack it here because I knew that one side wasn't going to get any air, was not going to get any sun. You want to have all the sides around it to have access to wind and sun ideally. And that one side didn't get anything. Now the spot is vacant and my parents have their cord.
2,000 years later.
Yeah, so the following day or so, yeah, the cord that I prepped for my parents is now gone. So now they have wood. So when I get more wood, besides the fir that you see behind me, hopefully to give them some too. So I think that would be a win-win. Just anyway, that was the tour of the Woodyard. Since what you just saw happened, I had started on the fir that I got. There's some massive logs in here, massive rounds, and some good wood in here. Definitely the good stuff. Something that a lot of maybe people on the East Coast don't see a lot, but this is some good stuff in here. Anyway, I want to know, are you ready for the fall? Are you ready for this upcoming cold season? And if you are, I want to know how many cords that you know you have or think you have. I have no clue how many cords I have in the Woodyard. I don't sell cords. I don't count cords. They're not stacked like cords. Because my space, I have a yard, but I want to keep the yard for the kids. I mean, I need to get rid of this wood and get it processed right. But because of me, I go up. I stack up. I go up. I don't go lengthwise. I go up as far as I can. Even higher. Then sometimes I have a ladder that I use to stack and get wood. Is what it is, right? Is what it is. But anyway, I want to know how much wood you have in your wood yard, as well as if you think that you think or you know you are ready for the fall, whether to burn for yourself to keep yourself and your family warm and cozy, and or to sell to customers and make that money. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Until next time, life's too short to be a prick, so be kind to one another. Rock and roll. Stay safe, you cutting. Cheers.